Hey there, my name's Tort. I want to get some frog lights. But in order to get those, I need to kidnap Froggy here. My crime is excusable though, because they should have a better home soon. But first I gotta get them there. Wasn't that just the most exciting thing ever? Definitely not boring at all, moving frogs from one point to another. Anyways, I've got a lot of explaining to do before the end of this video, most of which can wait till the end, but one thing I should probably get out of the way right now. This clearly is not a 1.21 thing, like I said it was gonna be. Turns out, when Mojang updated the game, they decided to rework a lot of it, specifically things that affect one mod quite a bit. Replay mod. Replay mod is something I obviously use quite a bit in my videos, so if I don't have that, then there's kind of no point in making them. So I'm just gonna wait things out for the mod to update. Unfortunately, for reasons I won't explain, I'm not gonna be able to record in this world for about a month, and sometime during that month is probably when Replay mod's gonna update. I'm trying to get ahead in videos, so if I post any more videos besides this one while I'm gone, then there's still not gonna be 1.21. And that's why. I just wanted to explain that. Okay, on to what I'm going to do with our frogs here today. So we need two things. We need a place to breed our frogs, which is going to be our zoo edition here, right next to the prehistoric area. But we're also going to need the actual frog light farm. If you don't know, frog lights are created by having frogs eat magma cubes, which are a nether thing. So, let's go do that. A confession. This is supposed to be a world where I don't use tutorials. Unfortunately, I just don't think that's going to be possible with this build. If you know anything about frog light farms, you know that they're typically built on the Nether Roof, and the reason for that is because of their dependence on magma cubes. See, when you're on the Nether Roof, you can fly really high up and AFK at a point to where the only place the magma cubes can spawn is on the platform of the farm you're building. And I considered alternatives of building this farm not on the Nether Roof, but it's just too much of a sacrifice. It's not worth it. I'm a cheat. Cheating by my own rules, at the very least. Most people would not consider this cheating, but just wanted to explain that. Now this part, I will attempt to do on my own. Need to double check so I don't soft lock myself. I have the obsidian there, and I have some flint and steel here. So, we should be safe to get back. I believe that's the height we need to be at. Let me poke around a little bit more to see if there's bedrock that goes higher, but I think that's right. Yeah, okay, this is probably it. And then I know you need to throw an ender pearl at a very specific angle. Is it like here? It was there. We've made it to the Nether Roof. If you haven't seen it before, here it is. It's very scary. Make sure you bring a way to get out. That way being out being another portal. There we go. Okay, officially safe. Portal lit. Now, to use another method to delete bedrock, because that's a thing you can do. This setup I'm taking from a video by iCraftMC. It's good. It works. I've done it before. Just gotta rebind that real quick. That works. Rebinding it to a key makes it work 20 times a second, so that can happen. No clue how this works, honestly. It's really weird, but if I put a piston in my hand, and I do that, and I look here, that should work. Did it work? Yeah. Oh. There we go. There's a block I can break. Oh, and that's the ladder right there. And now we've got a way to go from the Nether Roof back to our original portal. So how about that frog light farm? Alright, really simple farm, so it shouldn't take too much to explain. First of all, we've got our collection system. The collection system is just a minecart running back and forth, powered rails everywhere. Didn't skimp this time, unlike the sniffer farm. And then we have one of these little doodads where if there's any items in the hopper minecart, the comparator reads it, freezes the rails, and it's not allowed to move. So anything collected by the minecart should get dumped off into this chest. Above that, we've got our magma cube chamber. where all the small guys go. The frogs are also going to be in here. The floor is slabs. That way nothing spawns down here. But like I was saying, we're going to have a bunch of different frogs in here, all 3 different colors, and they're going to eat all the small magma cubes that drop. Like that. Next up is the actual spawn layer, where the magma cubes spawn. There's an iron golem in the center. Magma cubes don't like those guys, so they'll charge after him. And they can see him from 16 blocks away, which is why the spawn platform has the radius that it does. The gap for the floor is only 1 block anywhere, so only the smallest guys can fit there and fall in. And then the roof is made of slabs, so there's no other spawns. And as you can see, if I go all the way up to the AFK platform here, we get a lot of magma cube spawns. So I think we're going to be good on frog lights. Honestly, if I was to revise this thing, I would make the spawn platform not completely optimal and have multiple layers. That's because I think the amount of magma cubes we have in the spawn layer is going to cause a mob cap. Meaning before the frogs can eat these guys, they're just going to disappear. But it's just frog lights. I can AFK overnight. There'll be plenty of them. This works. It's good enough. I made it. Now, I need to get some frogs in there. Frog breeding is actually pretty interesting. When you breed them, they make the eggs in the water, and you can't silk touch those or anything. You just have to wait for those to hatch. But when they do, and you've got tadpoles like this, you can bucket them. And the reason you'll want to do this is because depending on the biome that they grow up in, you'll get a different kind of frog. For example, I'll want to raise some of our tadpoles in this savanna. So I just built this ugly thing, and eventually we'll get warm frogs, which are the white ones. Then there's one other frog variant which happens in cold biomes. So I'll just build another ugly shack right here, and there we go. Now I want 3 of each kind in the bottom of that frog light farm at least, so give me a second. Second's over. I got all my frogs. And now, all I gotta do, oh god, is wrangle all of them up and bring them through the nether portal. Alright, if any of them fall down that hole, I'm gonna be very... No! I'm gonna be very upset. One more. Where? Where? Hold on. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna bring these ones for now. Let's go, friends. It looks really funny. Just a little trip across a plane of nothingness into your forever prison. Yay! Yay! Wonderful. Make a little staircase, make a little opening, get them all in front, and that should work. Yeah. At least 2 of each. You know, not the worst. If the other 2 fell down the hole, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I will simply give up. Well, I don't see them down there. Maybe they went through the portal? Well, there's one of them. But I don't see a second one. Unless it fell back here? Oh! Let's go, friends. And we did it. Okay. As long as the rest don't fly out during the putting these guys in there, then we're good. Just gotta do this one more time. Alright, there we go. And there's our first frog light. Which means it's working, I hope. Kinda. I'm gonna AFK for a while and see how many I can get. I'll let you know. Hey, so it's only been 20 minutes. This thing works too well. I've already got a lot of frog lights. It's fine as is. It doesn't need changed. I'm happy. I guess that means it's onto zoo stuff then. I've done some sketching and I've done some thinking, and I think I know what I'm gonna do here. Before I outline any of it though, I need to move all these guys. This obviously is a continuation of our path. I did some terraforming back here to indicate that the zoo would be using water from the river. I don't know where this is gonna lead to. Maybe it's just feeding that pond. I don't know. But we've got our road continuing this way, and I want the frog place to be right here. The main feature of this place, and the main place the frogs are gonna be, is something similar to our greenhouse way over there. I can't see it, but something like our greenhouse, except it's gonna have a rounded face to it, which I'm thinking of putting right here. Something kind of like this. And then this isn't the glass I'm gonna use, but I might as well have it here. And that ends up working out, turning this interior into something a little more square while still putting a rounded edge on the outside. This thing is gonna need an entrance as well as an exit, so I'm considering putting that right here. The door will be there, and then I need some kind of a ramp running up. Maybe this could be a semi-exterior thing, kind of like a balcony with a covered roof. And I'll run that right along the path here like this. And then we have the main indoor part that isn't glass, which is going to be right here. Maybe 9 blocks wide. I want it to be pretty skinny. And now that leaves us with something like this. Once I add the height to this, though, it might look a little too skinny. So I'm going to throw on another building to the side here. And this can be a little storage shack off to the side for employees, similar to what the idea behind this building was. And with some of the heights figured out, we get something like this. Just to go into detail with some of my plans with this, most of this is going to be glass, the walls themselves at least. And then these are going to be copper beams that run through every pillar here. I'll try to add archways between these. It'll look all elegant. Don't know what I'm going to do for the corners, but I'm sure I can figure something out. And then that runs into the main building, which is very, very tall. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all that verticality, but I'm sure there's something I can do. And then a little storage shack on the side. I might make it bigger. I haven't thought about this side of it. It's mainly this glass part that I want to tackle first. So, let's get to it. This section is basically done, except for this. But now it's definitely done. Ended up going with the diorite again with the copper roof. It's just a really good color combo. Bushes near the base and these neat little lights. Had to utilize the frog lights. And I think the arches worked out. The corner's a little bit different. Got something funky going on right here, but it works. Interior not done. That'll be for later. But I do have the entrance, which is right here. This little side thing. It's pretty beat up, mud. Got some variation in the top. One of these wood things with the leaves. I believe it's called a pergola. I'm glad I can finally start using things like hoppers pretty freely because our iron farm is making a lot of iron. Makes for some pretty cool details like that. So now I think it's time to get the rest of it done. That was a pretty big time skip, so I hope it wasn't too jarring. A lot of detailing went into this though, so there's plenty to talk about. As we walk into our new addition, we've got this bridge railing thing out of copper and acacia, as well as this little tree that I thought's pretty cool. Got some moss blocks hidden to have the bushes and the grass and those. Focused a lot on using the detail blocks for shaping the trunk itself, and I think it turned out really cool. All of this is the same, although I have done the inside, but we'll get to that later. This building, however, looks a lot different from what the time-lapse showed. Added some bushes and these brick details that I really like. Used the walls so that it's indented in. Looks like a different layer. Some trees along the back with the striped yard and lanterns all around just to make sure it's all lit up. Back here in the sniffer area, I finally have a place to plant all my flowers, and I think it fills this space nicely. And one last thing on the outside, the roof. I tried to make it look like it was bleached from the sun rising and setting. So at the very tops it would be the brightest, and the spots that get less sun off on the sides would not be affected as much. I think it worked out. It looks really cool from a distance. Look at that. Anyways, onto the inside. I tried to do somewhat of an interior. There's not too much detail, but there's at least a layout and an idea going on here. There's a staircase here going to a unfinished upstairs. Ignore that. But there's a little balcony that looks out over the frog area. And downstairs I've got this, which is supposed to be one of the smaller frog exhibits. Can't do much detailing with it, obviously, without a lot of the plugins that other servers have, but I think it's pretty cool. And then if you walk past the exit of the frog area, there's a little gift shop, which, again, not much detailing, just the idea of it is laid out. And this is just that secondary building, which has nothing in it right now. Could be used as storage in the future or something. And then back over here, this leads over to the frog exhibit using the pergola area. And this is pretty simple. Just have a little pond, got all our frogs in here, little log here with a lantern on it for some lighting, and a little slime ball dispenser. Overall, this is probably one of the most detailed builds I've ever done, which is kind of funny because it's one of the most useless things I've built as well. But that doesn't really matter, does it? I really like it. Now, I am already wrapping things up. And you may find that a little bit weird, because usually my videos are like 20 minutes, and we're only 15 minutes in. I've got a reason. A lot of the times when I was making 20-minute long videos, it just felt like there was a little bit of filler once in a while, and I wanted to start avoiding that. So I'm gonna stop worrying about the whole time limit thing. I'm gonna just make the video as long as it has to be, and in this case it was about, what, 15, 16 minutes, and I think it's still good. I think overall they're probably gonna end up being shorter on average. I hope that's okay. I still did about as much within the world in that time, so I don't think it's taking anything away from the series itself. It's just doing a little condensing, you know? Lastly, I didn't get ahead in videos, like I said I was going to, but I'm still gonna figure out something over my break. Whether it's this series or something completely different or just shorts, I'm gonna put something out there during my time away. So this channel will not be inactive for the next month and a half, thankfully. Just maybe expect something a little bit different, you know? If that sounds interesting to you, then maybe consider liking and subscribing and doing the things. Until next time, I'm gonna chill with my frogs. Bye. Bye. Bye.